Today we're in a lodge. We're going to be sorting out the heating. I'm going for infrared heating panels. We'll check them out and see if they're any good. What originally started as a barn conversion would indicate that we're in the middle of the countryside, so we haven't got mains gas. Heating wise, you can't just whack in a traditional boiler. We could have gone for a boiler and gone for a big gas tank, but I didn't fancy that. We're going down a renewable energy route, if you like. I've got solar panels on this over here on the lodge. On the main barn, we're going to go for an air source heat pump. I decided that a ground source heat pump, it was a little bit too much effort. Over in the lodge, I've gone down the electric route. I didn't really want to go storage heaters or anything, and whilst we're going to be living in here temporarily until I finish the main house, I just wanted something that was going to work. So this is a pre-filled oil radiator. I've gone for that in the bathroom or shower room. I decided that I would go for the infrared heating panels, 3 of them on the ceiling up here. And this is one of them. I'm not quite sure on these, that's why I've gone for a pre-filled radiator in the shower room. Otherwise I would have gone infrared panel in there as well. You can get ones with mirrors and pictures. These are just plain white. And I've also got the option of a gas solution, which looks like an old kind of like cast iron. It is cast iron actually, like a log multi-fuel burner. I got these probably about 6 months ago. They're cast iron, German company. I got them through eBay. There are loads of companies out there that do these. These cost me 82 quid each. They're a little bit more expensive now, 106 or 107 pounds. Being a German company does mean they come with a European plug, but they put this on as well, which I will be taking off. To put this on, because I don't want a massive black plug hanging up there. I planned out exactly where I was going to put them evenly spaced between my spotlights. I put the plugs in place for what I thought would be the best place, but I've realised there's probably a bit of an issue with that. I'll talk you through that in a second. Let's have a look at the panel itself. These particular panels are 300 by 1 metre. That's 300 millimetres. So you've got an aluminium frame that goes all the way around. And then these are the brackets where you'd hang it off. You can either put it on the wall or on the ceiling. This is like the control box. You can control it via Bluetooth, obviously on and on button. You can program it so it's on a timer. The infrared heating panels, they're all kind of constructed in a similar way. Others are more advanced than others. This particular one is not necessarily as advanced as other ones. So I wanted to have a look. I've taken part of the frame off so we can have a look inside and I'll tell you how it works. Here we've got the white panel, and I believe that's just plastic, and then just inside there's a bit of foam, and then this is an aluminium plate. Without deconstructing it fully, I believe there's a foam strip that goes all the way around the outside, around the outside, around the outside, and that provides a gap between the aluminium plate and the front panel. Within the actual body of this, there's a heating element, and I believe it's a carbon crystal heating element. It looks like a film negative almost. In the box you do get some screws and raw plugs to fit it up with. Obviously you get the panel, you also get the instructions, and I've opened it now. Well, it's been open for ages, but I haven't looked at it. Safety instructions, it says the fireplace heater must not be positioned directly under the power socket. Now, I wish they would have told me that ages ago before I even planned building this, because I've put the sockets right where they would end up being here. I don't see how it works. It doesn't make sense to me, because obviously you've got the power unit there, so the plug socket, surely it goes there, but I don't really want a plug socket outside of it. I could move the heaters slightly, but I've half anticipated it. Before we put anything on the ceiling, just in case it's dangerous, we're going to check the temperature of the front and back of it, mostly the back. That's what I'm concerned about. We've got a little bit of a workaround if it's a bit on edge of the safety side. I've bought an infrared thermometer. If you know anything about infrared waves, you know that they're 95% reflected by aluminium, and that's the reason why there's an aluminium backplate on there. Hopefully it won't get too hot, but we'll see. Just for reference, we're going to check the temperature in here from this machine. And you can see it is currently 9 degrees. Whilst we test it, I'm just going to lean it up against this. Just put the battery in. Test if it works. Yeah, so that's 11 degrees. That's the floor. That's the laser down there. Can you see that? One of the benefits of these is it's supposed to give you instant heat. I mean, it's come on straight away. It's already at 41 degrees. This is supposed to feel like the sunshine. Should we try that out? I can feel it's a bit warm. I mean, especially closer, I can just feel it on my face about here, but I'm only like, what, about half a metre away? And I mean, I can keep my hand on it, on my fingers. I mean, it is warm, it's not uncomfortable though, for this. It's up to 84 degrees at the moment. Whilst we wait for this to heat up, we're going to have a little chat about heat. Temperature is the measure of kinetic energy within particles. You get different ways of heat transfer. One of them is conduction, that's between solid objects. You also get convection, that's between a solid object and a fluid, or vice versa, and that fluid can be gas or a liquid. You also get radiation, which is electromagnetic waves. I'm not going to lie, I still feel a bit cold. This gadget relies on infrared waves. Now that is on the spectrum of electromagnetic waves, just below microwaves. It's in the far infrared range, not to be confused with your shortwave or near radiation waves, which is the patio heaters that you get, you know, with the red bar, because that's most of it is close to the visible light that you can see. Infrared you cannot see. It's supposed to be about 70% on radiation, and the remaining would be convection, and that's because of the materials that it's made of. Your traditional radiators, they rely on 80% is through convection, so that's basically heating up the air within the room, and then 20% would be from radiation. I think I'm going to go and put another layer on. It's getting dark outside soon. Right, this has 90 degrees there. This is centigrade. 85 there, 85 there, and the back is basically 20 degrees. I'm not quite convinced at the moment. Have I just wasted a couple £100? Bloody hell. Let's talk about sizing. I have undersized though. I have undersized. The way that you're supposed to work it out, if you've got a relatively insulated building, obviously this is a new build, so it's properly insulated. So you take the cubic area of your room and then you times that by 25. That will then give you the wattage that you need for these panels. So in theory, I would need about 12 to 1300 watts worth of power. I've got 300 watt panels. I decided to get 300 watt ones because I didn't want to spend any more money. They fit that space best. Plus I've got the radiator that I'm turning on in here because I'm cold. Boost. And I just didn't think it was going to work. Is it a bit of an uphill battle for it? Am I expecting too much? I'm just going to put this box in front of it. If there is a transfer of energy from this panel to this box. What's happening at the moment is electromagnetic waves are coming from here to the cardboard in the form of infrared, far infrared, which is in theory increasing the kinetic energy within the particles of the cardboard, so the temperature should increase. that is 14.5 degrees, and the back of the box is 11.5 degrees. So for the back of the box to increase in temperature, we would need conduction to happen because the infrared rays are not getting through that. So no radiation to the back of the box. In terms of the increase in temperature, I wonder whether it's fighting against convection because of thermodynamic equilibrium. Is the air trying to take the heat and the energy away from the cardboard? That's the question. So is it an uphill battle just for this little panel to do what I'm expecting it to do and for this to heat up significantly because the energy is being sapped away in the form of convection? It's a little bit later. We're up to 14 degrees. 86 in the middle of this is 16.4, nearly 14. 3 degree difference. I mean, on the wall, that's 13 and a bit, 13 and a half. So it does something, but bearing in mind that's at a metre. And I'm going to put it, that's 2.5 metres.
I'm not sure it's even going to do anything. Do you think?
They're supposed to operate best on the ceiling. It's a 2-to-1 difference, apparently. So basically that's 2.5 metres that way. And then you should feel the heat at 5 metres wide. Obviously you get less heat over on the edge. I don't see it happening at the moment. I'm just going to resolve the plug issue. That plug there is supposed to go there where the laser is, 18.5, 19 degrees. So I was thinking maybe I'll put a piece of insulation there. I've just put the plug where it's going to sit. There's a gap behind it. And bearing in mind, I mean, yeah, that's warm. And the plug is also 20 degrees. Okay, I've been trying to figure out the plug situation and what I should do about it. Whether I should bump it off and use a bit of insulation in between. The thing is, that type of insulation, if it's going to go up, it goes up quickly. You don't really want to use PIR for fire retardantness, do you? I had another idea. I'll show you, it hasn't worked. This is a soldering mat. So I placed it on, that's 25 degrees. So that doesn't really make any difference whatsoever. One thing I've noticed is that is also 25 degrees. I've put this heater on. This is an 1800 to 2100 heater. It's on maximum, so in theory it's pulling 2100. And that plug, 24.5 degrees. If that plug can hit 25, and there's no issues with it, it's not going to set on fire, is it? Then if the other plug is effectively off the panel and it gets to about 20 degrees, it should be fine in theory, yeah? You make me right? I've been racking my brains. I'm thinking, how do I resolve this? How do I resolve it? And I was just going to offset the panels off of the actual plugs. But it will upset me because everything, it won't be in the right place then. I designed it to be in the right place. So I think I'm just going to go under the plugs directly, and maybe, do you know that like engine firewall insulation that you get? I turn this upside down. The floor underneath the panel is 18.5 degrees, whereas over here, so we can determine it does something close range. It's just whether it does it far range. Currently it's 15 degrees in here. Let's set up the cardboard box experiment again. It's quite a bit later. I've been trying to rack my brains and figure out what I wanted to actually do. I decided, right, okay, I've looked up different panels, and then I thought maybe it's because I'm doing it on cardboard. So I've pulled some flooring up and I'll show you the temperatures. This is still on, right in the middle there, that is 94 degrees. One piece of flooring there and one piece of flooring there. So this one's at 1 metre, that one's at 2 metres. Yeah, so it's directly in line with it. This one, 17 degrees. Second one, 15 degrees. Wall is also 15 degrees. At 2 metres, it has no effect whatsoever. 1 metre, it does. So for a 300 watt panel, it only works up to 1 metre away. Now, according to this graphic here, I appreciate that it's for a different firm, but a 300 watt panel should work up to 2.5 to 2.8 metres. That's not the case for this. So there's no point in putting holes in my ceiling and trying to hang it up when it's not even going to heat. Like, essentially it would only heat to here, and there's nothing here for it to heat because it's just open space. It's not going to heat up any other objects. So what's the point? What is the point? I'm really disappointed. I didn't think it would be like brilliant. I just didn't think it would like have no effect whatsoever. So maybe the only way that it would work, I have seen these other ones, and they're like 800 watt panels. It's not really a panel, it's like a different, I'll flash it up. They're 150 quid each. So that's what, 450 quid. I just don't think it's worth it. I'm just going to sack the idea off altogether. I could use them all as a whiteboard, maybe. Yeah, so, right, I'll get blanking plates. I'll just blank them off at some point. I'm going to stick to the gas heater. There's no point in spending 450 quid to see if it might work. There's just literally no point, is there? So I've wasted today basically trying to figure out what to do. I'm glad that I didn't try and put them up and put a load of bloody holes in the ceiling. Do you know what I might do with the one that I've already got that's open? Because it does work, like up to best at half a metre. I might just put it down on the door fall down there, because we're going to have like a little dining table here. Arthur, he likes to sit in front of the electric fire at home. So if I set him up like a little bed and den just down here, I think he'll quite like that. Right, I think I need to get something done, don't I? Something more productive. I'm going to start tiling tomorrow. Just going to whack it out. Straight after that, I'm going to sort this bloody floor out, and then I'm building that wall, and then I'll get the flooring down. I'm just going to bust it out. Let's go! Let's go! If you haven't already, just smash the thumbs up for me trying at least. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.